Dr. Malveaux, what do you say to all the young people today who feel that the high cost of education is no longer worth the benefit?
I tell them to go back and look at the numbers. Someone with a college education makes about $1 million more over their lifetime than someone without one. So while even college graduates have oscillations in their economic well-being, even college graduates can be subject to unemployment, foreclosure, bankruptcy, and all those negatives. They do better, by and large, than those who did not go to college. The most important investment one can make is in oneself and one's own education. Now, I know it's difficult, but I would caution young people. I have young people say it's not worth it, but it's worth it to purchase a car. It's worth it to purchase designer clothing. No, I mean, your priority has to be your education. And education is the investment that keeps paying dividends, keeps paying returns.
Dr. Malveaux, you have a stated goal to better diversify Bennett College. Can you share a little bit about your plan to achieve this?
We live in a global world where there are all kinds of people in the same kind of setting, and we want Bennett College to reflect that. One of the things we've done is we've had more Bells studying abroad, so we also want students abroad to come here. I mean, we're looking at the African continent, and we do have a few students who come from Africa and the Caribbean. We've also had students come here from Turkey. We had a Russian student a year ago. But we want to be more mindful about attracting those students. Now, the challenge, of course, is always dollars. To bring an African sister here, she won't qualify for any of our federal programs, so we've either got to be able to support her or to find someone who will support her. But we're much more mindful about that. Exchange programs can't only be students from the U.S. going abroad. We want students from the rest of the world to come to us. I think we've done okay. Not great, but okay. We had a Rhodes Scholar finalist, our senior class president, who's from Durban, South Africa. We have a young woman from Zimbabwe. We've had students graduate from St. Lucia, from lots of places. But as I said, we wanted to be more mindful. In my ideal world, 10% of our students would be global students. I'd also like to see us attract more Latina students. Black and brown people are going to have to work together as our country evolves, and why not start those relationships in college? But again, the challenges are dollars, and we're working with some of our Latino organizations to see if there are ways that we can find dollars for some of those students to come to Bennett. There are some things about an HBCU that's a women's college that are special. We want our Latina sisters to be able to take advantage of those. And then finally, I'd like to have more Caucasian students. We have had Caucasian students at Bennett from time to time. Indeed, if you go back to the good old days of the 1960s, we often enrolled 2 or 3 of those students a year. In 2010, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of the World War sit-in. A white woman who had been a student at Bennett came back to join her sisters in talking about the activism that took place on Bennett's campus. It was a really cool moment. But we like to attract more of those women, and the question always then becomes, why would a young white woman want to come to Bennett College for Women? And this is something we're exploring and discussing, but if we live in a diverse society, we HBCUs also have the challenge of being diverse.
And Dr. Malveaux, I have one final question for you. Bennett College has had an illustrious past. What are your hopes and visions for its future?
Bennett will continue on the path that it's been on. We will continue to be trailblazers in women's education. We'll continue to educate women of African descent, but also other women. Educate women whether they come from wealthy backgrounds or for not so wealthy backgrounds. We are delighted and excited that students come to us as first-generation students, and they leave committed to educating generations behind them. We're excited about the young women who come as emerging scholars. We often admit women who might not get in anywhere else, but guess what? When they leave here, they will get in anywhere for graduate school. So we're excited about that kind of movement. We expect to see that continue, but also to grow. The research capacity that we're building, our partnerships with other colleges and universities, the way that our journalism and media studies students represent, the global imprint that we're claiming, all those things will be a part of the next 85 years of Bennett's history.